I work seasonal jobs.
I never wanna not know what you're doing in my heart. From the start I was a slave to sin, but now a slave to him. My priest king, the hypostatic God man. I got the ghost and now
I love it. It's everything I want to do and everything I want to have in a job. Working seasonal jobs fulfills me in a way no other job could fulfill me. When I worked my first 2 jobs, when I had to put it to an end, I felt like I was breaking up with my girlfriend. It felt so bad. It's a feeling I don't want and I do not enjoy. And then I came across seasonal work. And it's so awesome because you create the seasonal contract with an employer where there's a start date and an end date. And after that end date, you're free. And when you have an application you're filling out, when you put reason for leaving, all you have to put is seasonal contract. We agreed on a start date, we agreed on an end date, I fulfilled that, and you don't have to put, like, I was sick of working here, I didn't like working here, blah, blah, blah. There's a higher paying job I could go for, so I went for that. I just love that on my applications that I fill out, I get to put, it's a seasonal contract is the reason why I left a job. I love that. Seasonal jobs introduce me to a lot of different people. And there's a common theme I'm finding out. So at these seasonal jobs, I get very close to people. And eventually, I always switch the subject to something either politically or financially or religiously. And these are my go-to topics whenever, you're prepping food or something, or any kind of time you get to talk with your coworkers. So whenever I have these financial talks with people, I find that so many people in this country, and I've been to Alaska, to Utah, to San Diego, to North Dakota now, all over the country, people think they're being held down by society and that it's a difficult thing to get rich and it's gonna take complicated financial wisdom to get to a place where you're financially independent, where you're financially strong, financially safe, financially secure, financially confident, that it's going to be something very difficult. And for some reason in my own life, I've not felt this struggle.
White privilege. What?
I moved out of the house when I was 18, and I got my own apartment in San Diego. I provided for myself, and I paid for all my food, and I saved money every month, and I thought it was just the easiest thing in the world. And for some reason, people who are living in places where the cost of living is much lower than San Diego, these people are struggling with their finances, and I could not pin it down. I still can't pin it down, honestly. But I do have 3 easy ways to get rich, or to get, let's say, financially secure, financially confident. But it's 3 habits that you're gonna have to nail down if you want to be able to win with money, really. So I wrote them down. The first thing, live on less than you make. It's such a simple saying, and it's something that is so much needed so that you can win with money. You need to live on less than you make. As a subtitle for this, I've put spend intentionally. You have to intentionally let go of your money. You can't let money go to places where you don't know it's why it's there or why it's going there. You need to be intentional about every dollar that you let go. Because when you earn money, it's yours. And when you let go of it, it's not. And I just hope that when you spend money, you're letting go of it in exchange for something you truly want and you truly desire and mean to spend it on. A couple notes I wrote down for this point is budget your income and expenses every month. You need to know how much is coming in and how much is going out. In order to live on less than you make, you need to know that the amount that is going out is less than the amount that's coming in. If you live by this, your net worth will increase every month. Your net worth, how many dollars you are worth, increases every single month. I don't care if it's a penny, $1, $100, but your net worth should increase every month. And you can do that simply by living on less than you make. You also have to stay out of debt. Debt in itself is living on more than you make. Getting into debt is one of the stupidest things you could do. It's putting yourself in a very vulnerable position financially, where if anything wrong happens, you're screwed. You're gonna be ruined. Just make the conscious decision to stay out of debt and not to enter into debt for any reason. It's not the right thing to do. The second way to win with money is you need to build an emergency fund. A 6-month emergency fund. This is more on the safe side. Some people do a 3-month emergency fund. I like having a 6-month emergency fund. What does that mean? It means if I lost all my income, not a penny went in to my bank account, I could live for 6 months off of an emergency fund that is in my savings account. I could get to it in less than 10 minutes. This isn't something that's invested or something that, I need to sell all my things to get this fund together. No, it is a cash amount inside of my savings account that will provide for me and sustain me for 6 months without anybody helping me. And that's an amount that I determined by taking my living expenses for 1 month and multiplying it by 6. That's all it is. So you can do that yourself to find out that amount that you need. I suggest you start building that. And the way you build that is with the leftover money from your budget. You have a certain amount of money that you spend. There should be an amount of money that you put into your emergency fund. And if your emergency fund is fully funded, then instead of putting it there, you could put it into investments, or you could put it into a savings for something else, like an Xbox or a new computer or a house or something you want to enjoy. It's totally up to you, because you're still living on less than you make. And the extra money that you have in your budget can go towards something you want. For me, I just want to keep putting money into my investments in the stock market, or I could also put that into a fund for something new, like a toy, like a camera, like a computer, like a new computer mouse. It's anything you want, because this is extra money that you've set aside for something intentionally. Now, the great thing about this emergency fund is that it's your safety net. You're not counting on the government to send you a stimulus check. You're not counting on a job keeping you. An employer could completely fire you, dump you out on your butt, out on the street, and you will be fine, because you are gonna bounce off and get caught by that emergency fund that you've built. And you're gonna save yourself from that financial ruin. With an emergency fund, you are carefree. You can live life carefree because you know that you will not be ruined financially speaking. Now, the third point I have here for easy ways to get rich, easy ways to win with money, is that you should make more every year. I don't care if it's $1 more, I don't care if it's $100 more, and I don't care if you make $10,000 a year or $100,000 a year. But you should make more every year you exist. That's just my personal belief. I don't care if it's a raise in your job, if it's getting a second, like sort of like a side hustle. I don't care if it's more income from investments or something like that. But I think every single year you should be headed in a direction where you make more than the previous year. I believe you should make more in 2020 than you did in 19, even with the pandemic, even with life throwing all of its terrible things that it has for you. I think you should make more this year than you did last year. And I think that if you keep that mindset of I will make more, even if it's $1 more this year than last year, you are headed in the right direction. It does not matter where you are. Once again, I don't care if you have $10,000 a year in income or $100,000, but you should make at least $1 more. And if you do that, you are headed in the right direction, and that's all that matters. It does not matter where you are, it matters where you're going. Those are the 3 easy ways of becoming rich or winning with money, or steps to financial freedom, that I think you should really think about and decide if you're going to follow through on. If you nail down these 3 habits, there's no questioning that in America, this will get you rich. These habits will stay with you the rest of your life and reward you richly. These are wise things to do with your money, and for me personally, they have worked out awesomely, as Trump would say, awesomely, bigly. These are such easy steps. There's nothing complicated about it. There's nothing difficult. It might be difficult for you to start up these habits, but you've got to get a grasp on these things if you want to win with money. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a 6-month period. You will notice incredible changes. You will see your bank account grow and grow and grow. It's going to be an awesome feeling. You won't be living paycheck to paycheck. You will have cushion to explore new things, explore new jobs, try out new adventures. It's such an amazing feeling to truly be financially independent, not to depend on an employer, not to depend on a job. And when you get into investing, you'll have multiple income streams and you won't have to depend on either one, because it's like a house that has many pillars. And it doesn't matter if somebody comes and knocks down one of the pillars, because there's other pillars there to hold you up. And this is just talking about the financial world. There are going to be problems emotionally, spiritually, physically that you'll have to deal with. And sometimes those things will kind of weave into the financial world. But I think once you have the financial boot off of your neck, you will be so free, because you won't be stressing about that. And that's something that I found in my life, and I want to share it with so many people, and I want everyone to know about it. It's something I shared with so many people I've met with during my travels around America, but they never seem to get it. So I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I'm just a bad teacher or something, or maybe it's just counterculture and people have grown up with parents that don't know how to spend their money correctly, and so that's lasted with them and stuck with them. But I truly think that if you nail down these 3 easy habits, that you will be in a much, much better place than you are now. I thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll make videos in the future of kind of going in depth on spending intentionally, saving intentionally, and growing your income. So those 3 things are simple, understandable, and will help you financially. I will make you queen of everything you see. I'll put you on the map. I'll cure you of disease.